Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Today starting a new little different series over the next couple weeks, days, whatever. I'll pretend all the top 5 leagues. So obviously we're doing Serie A now, we'll do Liga, we'll do the Bundesliga, we'll do La Liga, and then we'll obviously do the Premier League as well, and we'll also do the Champions League and Europa League when we get round to them. Starting with the Serie A because they don't take a break like the Premier League doesn't take a break. And I can squeeze it in just before the game start on the 28th, this Saturday. So I can get them in today before we get into the Premier League games. Like the Premier League games are going to have to happen during the FA Cup week when we have a bit of a break and we get to game week 19, which is a perfect place to do it as well. 2 weeks to wait on the Premier League one, but let's do the Serie A one right now. Starting with Empoli, Genoa. We're not going to smash through a load of these. With Empoli getting beat by Genoa. Parma beating Monza. Don't want to we're on a run right now. Cagliari getting beat by Inter. Lazio getting beat by Atalanta. Atalanta, man, they're the ones that Atalanta are the team that I want to see win it this year. I'm not gonna lie to you. I will say that from the get-go that I do think they are the favourites to go all the way with it. Ooh, 2-2 between them two. I think Como getting a result there, and then Bologna getting a result against Hellas Verona. So we'll calculate game week 19, we'll see where we're at. Venezia beating Empoli. Fiorentina getting beat by Napoli. Fiorentina on a bit of a bad run now. Monza and Cagliari can draw. Lecce to get beat by Genoa. Torino to beat Parma. And Roma winning the Rome derby. Como and AC Milan is a Como win. Atalanta drawing with Juventus, and then Inter beating Bologna. Calculate that table. Inter now top of the table by 2 points. Monza, Cagliari and Lecce make up the bottom 3. Still a lot to fight for, still a lot to change around, still a lot can change in the table going between now and the end of the season. Let's just continue with it. We're going to smash through it, as I said. Lazio beating Como, Empoli beating Lecce, Udinese getting beat by Atalanta. Atalanta back on that running run. Torino drawing with Juventus in the Turin derby. AC Milan beating Cagliari. Genoa beating Parma. Venezia getting beat by Inter. Bologna to beat Roma, yeah, and then Napoli to beat Verona. Monza and Fiorentina to draw. Get some points off Fiorentina there. Not looking good for him. Bologna to beat Monza, sure. Juve to actually beat AC Milan. AC Milan, man, not on the form that they could be on. Atalanta a big win against Napoli there. Fiorentina beating Torino. Cagliari beating Lecce. Parma drawing with Venezia. Verona drawing with Lazio. Inter beating Empoli with a big outstanding thumping result. Como then beating Udinese. Let's continue with it. Torino beating Cagliari. Como getting beat by Atalanta. 2-0 to Napoli and Juventus. Empoli to get a result against Bologna. AC Milan to beat Parma. Udinese to draw with Roma. Lecce to try and get a result at Inter Milan, but no, not happening. Lazio drawing with Fiorentina. Venezia and Verona drawing, and Genoa and Monza drawing. A lot of draws all over there. A lot of draws all over. Parma and Lecce. We're going to go with Parma to win that game. Monza to win in that game. Udinese to win in that game. Atalanta to beat Torino. Bologna to beat Como. Juventus to beat Empoli. Fiorentina to beat Genoa. 3-2. Inter Milan beating them, just beating them. And then Roma getting just beat by Napoli. Cagliari to also get just beat by Lazio. Let's continue. We'll calculate in game 25 and we'll see how the table's looking again in game week 25. Cagliari to beat Parma. Como to get beat by Juventus. Empoli to get a result against AC Milan. AC Milan, man, they just fall off every now and then, and I just find it shocking from him it is. Keep on with these results. Lecce and Bologna to draw. Napoli to continue getting results. Continue trying to stay up there with the big boys right now. Torino to beat Genoa, and then Venezia getting a result against Roma. Atalanta, big win here against Cagliari. We'll see how this is going to change things around At the end of this game, it would calculate again to Como getting beat there. Genoa winning their games for Venezia. Juve drawing with it. Nah, I think Juve beat Inter, you know. Lazio to beat Napoli. It's a big week for Atalanta. This a big week for Atalanta, as they can make some ground on those around them. Udinese to draw with Empoli, and we'll calculate the table. Atalanta now top of the table, 1 point ahead of Inter. Napoli failed to catch up. Juventus now into the top 4 and still unbeaten after 25 games. They have 13 draws. Jesus Christ. Lecce, Monza and Hellas Verona make up the bottom 3. Como just outside of it, alongside Cagliari and Venezia just outside of it as well. Parma on the outskirts. 3 teams on 29 points, and Roma just ahead of them on 30 points, just ahead of that relegation zone. With a big gap difference there is in that top 8. That top 8 is definitely that top 8, easily stuff. Let's calculate again in game week 30 as Juventus continue to find their good form. Como getting beat by Napoli and Empoli getting beat by Atalanta. Hellas Verona though beating Fiorentina. Inter Milan beating Genoa. Lecce to get a result against Udinese. Parma to get a result against Bologna. Roma to beat Monza. Torino beating AC Milan, and then Venezia drawing with Lazio. Atalanta beating Venezia straight away there. Bologna beating Cagliari. Fiorentina beating Lecce. Genoa drawing with Empoli. Juventus beating Verona. 3-1 there for AC against Lazio. Monza drawing with Torino. Napoli beating Inter Milan. Big win there. Big win for Napoli. Roma winning that game. And Udinese getting beat by Parma in a big game there at home. Cagliari winning against Genoa. Como beating Venezia. Empoli beating Roma. Verona drawing with Bologna. Inter Milan beating Monza, but only just beating Monza. 0-0. Going 3-1 there. Lecce to just upset AC Milan again. AC Milan, sorry AC Milan fans, but I'm doing you dirty horribly here. 2-1 there. Atalanta to then get the result against Inter Milan that they need against Inter Milan. Bologna to beat Lazio. Fiorentina and Juventus to draw. Genoa to beat Lecce. AC Milan to beat Como. Monza to beat Parma. Roma to beat Cagliari. Torino beating Empoli. Udinese drawing with Verona, and then Venezia getting beat by Napoli. And then we'll calculate again in this game week 30 here. We get towards the end of it. Cagliari beating Monza. Como beating Empoli. Fiorentina beating Atalanta. Not a good result for Atalanta. That not a good result. Chasing down the title still. Nothing is secured yet. Nothing is secure yet. Lecce to beat AS Roma. Napoli to beat AC Milan, and then Venezia to be beating Bologna. Calculating the table, Atalanta still top, only by 2 points. Only 3 points to Napoli now. The chase is on. It is close now. On 74 goals there for them. Juventus still, you know, unbeaten, 30 games in now. Knowing how it's done. What are we looking at here? What are we looking at? Monza, Venezia and Lecce are now bottom of the table. I think Venezia can easily survive. Cagliari down there, Como down there, Udinese still relatively down there, so it's clear to with Parma as well. Some teams that could still get caught into that relegation battle. Roma, you know, securing themselves as like finishing in, in the top half now alongside Torino. AC Milan, not too far of a push away, but probably too far of a push away from getting into them Champions League spots at the top 4. I think that's kind of solidified itself now. Juventus probably still on the teetering edge, but top 3, the title race is still on. We'll calculate again in game 53 when there are 5 games left, and Atalanta beating Napoli, not letting go of the hopes. Empoli beating Cagliari. Genoa beating Udinese. Lecce beating Venezia in a big win there. AC Milan drawing with Fiorentina. Monza beating Como. Parma getting beat by Inter. Roma to draw with Juve. Torino to beat Verona. Let's continue. As Atalanta winning their game and Como winning their game as they're trying to survive. Parma lose their game against Fiorentina. Verona win their game against Girona. Girona. What am I talking about? Juventus to beat Lecce, put them back in their place. Lazio to beat Roma in that game. Napoli to beat Empoli, yeah. Udinese to beat AC Milan, and then Venezia to beat Monza. Oh, five games after this game there. Inter Milan win that game. Cagliari win against Fiorentina. Empoli beat Venezia. Genoa draw 3-0 with Lazio. Lecce beating Como. AC Milan making Atalanta drop points. It's going to cause a mayhem. This is going to cause mayhem. Parma drawing with Juventus. Roma beating Verona. Torino beating Udinese. 5 games left. Inter now move top of the table on goal difference. Atalanta with a fight to go. Juventus still unbeaten with 5 games to go. The title is a point off not being attainable by them though still. That is crazy because 7 unbeatable season and have nothing to show for it. 5 games to go. Let's go. Let's see how Atalanta react. They need to push on that goal difference. Starting with a good one there. Como drawing with Genoa. Yeah, Fiorentina back on the winning ways. Verona back on winning ways. Inter Milan getting just a narrow win there. Juventus beating Monza. Lazio winning against Parma. Napoli not letting go of it. You know, they're still chasing this down. Udinese to beat Bologna. Venezia to get beat by AC Milan. Bologna beaten by Juventus. Cagliari to beat Udinese. Empoli beating Napoli. Oh, Genoa drawing with AC Milan. Inter Milan beating Hellas Verona 3-0. Lecce getting absolutely gobsmacked out the park there. And Monza as well. The goal difference climb continues. The goal difference climb is still on. Parma beating Como 3-1. Roma beating Fiorentina 2-0. And Torino winning their game against Venezia. Calculated table. Fiorentina moving up the table. AC Milan still in 7th. That goal difference is now just 2 goal difference, but there's only a point in it between them and Napoli still as well. It is all still to fight for in this final game. Atalanta beating Roma there. Como drawing with Cagliari. Empoli beating Parma. Verona beating Lecce. Lazio drawing with Juventus. AC Milan beating Bologna. Napoli beating Genoa. Torino narrowly getting beat by Inter Milan as they're still chasing down the title. Udinese beating Monza, and then Venezia getting beat by Fiorentina. One more game to go after this one. Cagliari beating Venezia. Fiorentina beating Bologna. Genoa getting beat by Atalanta. Hellas Verona beating Como. Inter Milan beating Lazio 2-1. Juventus to beat Udinese 2-0. Lecce getting beat by Torino 3-1 there. Monza beating Empoli. Parma, a narrow loss there. Roma, as they continue to rise up the table, can they rise any higher? Roma, it looks like it might be down and done for them, but they could still finish above Bologna, which would be a massive accomplishment for the season. Atalanta now move top of the table on 91 points. 91 points towards the end of the season. Juventus are unbeaten and only on 75, and there's 3 teams ahead of them, and they're unbeaten going into the last day of the season. To get a draw, they have a perfect half and half season. Atalanta do what they must. They beat Parma 3-1. Bologna beat Genoa 2-0, confirming their place. Como beaten 5-0 by Inter Milan on the last day. Empoli beating them there. Lazio beating Lecce. AC Milan beating Monza. Napoli beating Cagliari, doing all they can do to try and win the title on the last day there. Torino beating Roma. Udinese drawing with Fiorentina, and to end their season unbeaten, Juventus getting 0-0 draw against Venezia. Unbeaten all season, Juventus, but Inter Milan take it on the last day of the season. Atalanta score 100 goals, but it's not worth nothing because they lose out on goal difference, concede too many out throughout the year, and Inter Milan go and win the league. Monza, Venezia and Lecce all get relegated. Como, the goal difference mattered for Como on the last day as well, but Lecce let them survive. Phew, what a season. That wasn't bad. That wasn't too bad, eh? Let me know what your thoughts on that are. Let me know what you think of the table, and if you like videos, leave a like and see more subscribes. More trying every single day. Thank you for watching, guys, and hopefully I do catch you next time. Cheers.